When you first arrive in Sarajevo, it's not the monuments or historic buildings that catch your eye, it's the people. Walking through the city center, you'll see stylish young locals, bustling cafes where people chat for hours, and elegant women strolling through the old town. Some wear headscarves, others don't. Young men often dress in modern European fashion, while loud motorcycles zip past on the main avenues. This mix of styles and energy is what makes Sarajevo so captivating. In just a few minutes, you can move from a typical Ottoman bazaar, with mosques and narrow alleyways, to wide avenues lined with Austro-Hungarian architecture, trendy cafes, and luxury hotels. This diversity perfectly reflects Bosnia and Herzegovina's complex history. Located in the Balkans, just a short distance from the Adriatic Sea, the country has long been a crossroads between East and West. Covering about 51,000 square kilometers, Bosnia is slightly smaller than Serbia, comparable in size to Croatia, and much larger than Montenegro. Contrary to what many believe, it isn't entirely landlocked. The small town of Neum provides roughly 21 kilometers of coastline on the Adriatic, making it modest but scenic. The capital, Sarajevo, has around 700,000 inhabitants in its metropolitan area. The city stretches along the Miljacka River. The eastern side holds the historic center with bazaars and mosques, while the western side boasts wide avenues, shopping centers, and modern buildings. This layout reflects over 4 centuries of Ottoman influence, followed by Austro-Hungarian rule, giving Sarajevo a unique blend of Istanbul, Vienna, and Eastern Europe. If this glimpse of Sarajevo excites you, type "I want to travel" in the comments and follow the channel for more off-the-beaten-path adventures. As you explore, you'll notice small holes in building facades, remnants from the 1990s war. After Yugoslavia broke apart, more than 200,000 people lost their lives, and nearly 2 million were displaced. Many structures still bear these scars, reminders of a painful past. Yet right next door, modern cafes are full of people laughing and chatting. Experiencing this coexistence of history and daily life is something you can truly feel only in Sarajevo. For travelers, the city is surprisingly affordable. A taxi from the airport to the city center usually costs between 15 and 25 euros. A 2-bedroom tourist apartment can be around 200 to 250 euros for a few nights, especially near the historic district. In local restaurants, a traditional dish costs around 10 to 12 Bosnian marks, roughly 5 to 6 euros. Be aware, many places, even larger restaurants, only accept cash, and supermarkets often close on Sundays. Planning ahead is essential. The most famous area is Bascarija, the old Ottoman bazaar. Its narrow streets, small shops, and traditional cafes evoke the atmosphere of Turkish cities. Tourists from Turkey and the Middle East contribute to this unique vibe. Sarajevo is also called the Jerusalem of Europe. Mosques, Catholic and Orthodox churches, and synagogues coexist within a small area, reflecting the country's religious and cultural diversity. The differences between Bosniaks, Serbs, and Croats are mostly cultural and religious. Bosniaks are mostly Muslim, Serbs are mainly Orthodox Christian, and Croats are mostly Catholic. Ethnically, they are very similar, all South Slavic. As you wander, you can also enjoy the local cuisine. Popular dishes include baked pastries filled with meat, cheese, or potatoes, usually served with yogurt. Bosnian coffee, similar to Turkish coffee, is an essential part of social life, with cafes busy throughout the day as people meet, chat, and watch life go by. Public transport relies on trams and buses, many of them old, sharing roads with cars. For exploring beyond the city, renting a car is usually the most practical option. Nature lovers will be amazed. Rivers, forests, and mountains appear constantly as you travel between towns, offering stunning scenery in a relatively small country. Living costs remain low but challenging for locals. The minimum wage is around €619 per month, and the average salary ranges from 700 to 1,500 marks. Rent in Sarajevo can be between €500 and €1,000 per month, which often takes up nearly an entire local salary. The local currency in Bosnia is the convertible mark, abbreviated K/D, with approximately €1 equal to 2 marks. Many businesses, even larger restaurants, often only accept cash due to banking fees and tax rules. Supermarkets frequently close on Sundays, which can surprise tourists arriving on weekends, so it's wise to stock up on water and basic supplies on Saturday. The minimum wage in Bosnia is around €619 per month, while the average salary ranges between 700 and 1,500 Bosnian marks. Renting an apartment in Sarajevo can cost between €500 and €1,000 per month, which can consume almost the entire income of an average local resident. That's why many families live in inherited or shared homes. To live comfortably, one would need to earn more than €2,000 monthly, which is easier for foreigners with online income or money from abroad. The most visited area of Sarajevo is called Bascarija, the old Ottoman bazaar. Here you'll find narrow streets, small shops, traditional cafes, and a famous fountain where almost every tourist stops to take photos. Many families live in inherited or shared homes. For comfort, a monthly income of more than €2,000 is ideal, which is more achievable for foreigners earning from abroad. Despite economic difficulties and historical scars, Sarajevo offers an authentic, unforgettable experience. Every street tells a story, and the contrast between history, culture, and modern life is striking. The atmosphere strongly reflects Turkish influence, as Bosnia was part of the Ottoman Empire for centuries. Even today, Turkish words are still used in daily conversation. Many visitors come from Turkey and Arab countries, which sometimes gives the impression of being in a Muslim city similar to Istanbul, where tourist areas are crowded with visitors from Gulf nations. This effect is particularly noticeable in the historic center of Sarajevo. However, the reality is more nuanced. The differences between Bosniaks, Serbs, and Croats are mostly cultural and religious, not ethnic. They are all South Slavic people, with distinctions mainly in religious traditions. Bosniaks are primarily Muslim, Serbs mainly Orthodox Christian, and Croats mostly Catholic. Physically, there's no clear difference between them. That's why Sarajevo is often called the Jerusalem of Europe. Within a small area, you can find mosques, Catholic churches, Orthodox churches, and synagogues. Despite a large Muslim population, the overall feel of the city is quite European and secular in everyday life. About 45% of the population is Muslim, mostly Bosniak, alongside Croatian Catholic, Serbian Orthodox, and a small historic Jewish community. Public transport in Sarajevo does not include a subway system. It relies on trams and buses, many of which are quite old, and trams share roads with cars, which can make traffic chaotic. For exploring other cities, renting a car is usually the most practical choice. Bosnia is very green. Rivers, forests, and mountains appear constantly when traveling between towns, offering a lush and scenic landscape. Sarajevo is generally safe for travelers. Walking in the city center during day or night is usually without major concern, as police presence is discreet and crime levels are relatively low. Typical Bosnian cuisine is simple but flavorful. Popular dishes include baked pastries filled with meat, cheese, or potatoes, often served with yogurt. Bosnian coffee, similar to Turkish coffee, is central to social life, with cafes busy all day as people meet, chat, smoke, and watch life go by. When you walk through the streets of Sarajevo, one of the first things you notice, besides the historic buildings and bustling cafes, is the women. Bosnian women are often considered among the most beautiful in Europe, and it's easy to see why. Their features are a striking mix of European and Balkan heritage: high cheekbones, expressive eyes, and radiant smiles. You'll notice how effortlessly they carry themselves in both traditional and modern styles, from casual outfits to elegant dresses. Beauty in Bosnia isn't just about appearance. There's a confidence, a natural charm in the way women interact with others, whether they're walking in the old town, shopping in modern malls, or sipping coffee at a sidewalk cafe. Some wear headscarves, others don't, yet there's a shared elegance that seems innate, a balance between strength and femininity that is both subtle and captivating. You'll see young women cycling along the streets, jogging through city parks, or simply strolling through Sarajevo's historic squares. Their style is modern yet individual. They know how to mix European fashion trends with their own personal touches. And it's not only the young women. Across all ages, there's a certain poise and grace that feels natural and effortless. One interesting aspect is how beauty blends with the city's culture. In the old Ottoman bazaar, women wearing traditional attire blend seamlessly with tourists and locals alike, creating a visual harmony that reflects Bosnia's complex history. The elegance of Bosnian women is not just a matter of looks. It's part of the city's soul, visible in every gesture, every conversation, every interaction. Another thing to notice is the variety. Bosnia is a small country, but the differences in style and appearance from town to town are remarkable. In Sarajevo, the capital, the fashion is cosmopolitan, inspired by Europe's major cities. In smaller towns, you'll find a more traditional and natural beauty, where simple hairstyles, minimal makeup, and graceful clothing make women stand out in a subtle, authentic way. It's also worth mentioning that many Bosnian women value health and fitness. Sports, walking, cycling, and outdoor activities are common, which keeps them not only fit but also exudes a vitality that complements their natural features. Their approach to life, balancing work, family, social activities, and self-care, gives them a presence that is hard to ignore. If you're looking for unique destinations rich in heritage and diversity, Sarajevo is a must-see. If you enjoy discovering places that are off the usual tourist path, subscribe to the channel, like the video, and get ready to explore even more lesser-known countries with us. See you on the next adventure.